Welcome back for Week 9 of high school football here on MyTV WQMY. I'm Amanda Kuhl from Fox 56 Sports. Tonight is more than a Friday night football game in Berwick. We have a storied rivalry between two Wyoming Valley Conference teams and a coach that has done what no other high school coach in Pennsylvania ever has. Berwick and Coughlin are two of the most famed traditions in high school football. Both are among the most winning teams in Pennsylvania history. Berwick checks in with 782 wins and Coughlin with 642. 2 weeks ago, Coach Curry became the first coach in PIAA high school football history to win 400 games at one school after his victory over Williamsport. And tonight may be his last home game. Which leads us to the real question. How long does Coach Curry have left on the sidelines? No matter what, Coach Curry will be out there doing what he's done for nearly 50 years, focusing on the fundamentals. I'll be back in the studio at halftime for a look at next week's high school game and this weekend's college football schedule. Bob, John, and Aaron are in Berwick for what could be Coach George Curry's last home game at Crispin Field.
Wilkes-Barre Coughlin is closing in on a district playoff berth for the first time since 2008. The Crusaders feel they have what it takes with a powerful senior class.
It's going the way we thought it would. We got a great bunch of senior kids that have been playing hard week in and week out, and the young kids that are filling in are responding.
Berwick wants nothing more than to win a district title in the coaches last season. The Bulldogs have that winning swagger once again.
We don't let people intimidate us, you know. We have a very experienced defense, and I just like the way we fly around and have fun out there.
The winner of this game could be the top seed in the playoffs. It's Coughlin and Berwick. Next.
6 foot 5 and all, he's going to reach for the end zone. He gets in, one guy to score. Switches hands, and see you later. He is
Fox 56 Sports presents the rivalry of the week on MyTV WQMY.
And the celebration starts.
Winners
on
go
the
along to Quiller.
He's got him.
Touchdown.
That could be the one that sends them to the state final.
We are at the legendary Crispin Field in Berwick, where tonight a capacity crowd is expected as the Coughlin Crusaders take on the Berwick Bulldogs. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob I, joined tonight on the sidelines by Aaron Dugan and my partner in the booth for week number 9 of high school football, John Mandola. A lot of emotions around this game, but still a lot of district points to be had. So who controls the emotions may win the game tonight, John?
Yeah, well, I think Berwick's going to have tremendous emotion. Coughlin's fired up coming in here knowing that their playoff lives are upon us here. But should be an interesting matchup between these two. I'm expecting a lot of emotions and some great football tonight.
Crusaders come in with a close win over Wyoming area last night. They're second in the AAA standings of District 2, so a lot for them on the line. So go the Crusaders, so goes Jacob Soler, the quarterback.
Well, he had that game-winning drive last week. The touchdown, of course, that went over the edge. Over 1,000 yards as well for him this season on the feet, you know, with his feet on the ground. So he could run the football. He's an impact player. When he has to throw, he will. But Jacob Soler is the heart and soul of this Coughlin team.
Berwick on the other side. Big win last week over Pittston area. They shut out them 27-0. They use a lot of running backs on offense. Anthony Cicini has had a big game and a big one last week.
Yeah, he stepped up 114 yards on the ground against the Patriots. He could play some defense as well, but definitely a weapon here for the Bulldogs.
Great weather once again for week number 9 of high school football. Will it remain that way? Let's over now to Josh Odell with tonight's weather.
Good evening, Bob. As Coughlin takes on Berwick here at Crispin Field, I have some good news and maybe some not so good news. The good news is that it's not raining or snowing. The not so good news is the fact that it will be kind of cold tonight. Temperatures running in the low and mid 40s. Certainly probably a decent line at the hot chocolate stand over the next couple of hours. I do have a little bit of rain in the weekend forecast, and that is coming up tonight on the Fox 56 News first at 10. For now, Bob, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Josh. The theme tonight, Curry Strong. Berwick football alumni from all over the country have come back home to honor their former coach. We'll have the emotional entrance of George Curry. The starting lineups and the opening kickoff are on the way.
This is a Fox 56 Sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
We are back in Berwick in the Key Wyoming Valley Conference showdown between the Coughlin Crusaders and the Berwick Bulldogs. Very emotional entrance from Coach George Curry. To give us more on that, let's go down to Aaron.
Well, Bob, it was quite the event on the field behind me just a few moments ago, really. Just about 200 Berwick football alumni helping and greeting Coach Curry to come out onto the field for his very last home game. A lot of emotional tears, hugs. Coach Curry thanking everyone for his encouraging words. Definitely had some tears in his eyes, coming down and leading some cheers with some of the guys that he's coached over the years. We'll be talking to some other Berwick alumni throughout the game from here on the field. We'll also hear some video messages from some Berwick alumni that have gone on to do some great things. Just going to be overall a very special and emotional night, guys.
And John, very emotional for us. There you saw Ron Paulus, first man to greet him. Of course, he's at Notre Dame right now, won a state title. It's an honor for us. We've known George Curry, both of us, for over 25, 30 years, so it's an honor for us to be here. And boy, what a great turnout from the alumni, former football players here.
He remembers everything about somebody.
Yep.
You know, hey, I remember that play back in 82 or 93. I mean, he brings up stories, and, you know, I'm sure he greeted those guys, and he said something about it. I remember that 6-yard run, or I remember that touchdown. Just that kind of guy.
Coach is experiencing some health issues, as you can tell from the way he stands. We won't go into details for that, but right now this is his last regular season home game as the coach of the Berwick Bulldogs. He's been here 39 years, 46 overall, was at Lake Lehman at Valley West, of course, and you know, it's the old ball coach, an end of an era. I mean, it's very emotional again.
Absolutely. I mean, what he did in the 90s with the Berwick Bulldogs, of course, what he's done in his career here at Berwick, and ignited a community, and everybody lives for football. I mean, as the shirts say, they eat this stuff up, and they've been eating it up for a long time, and still here in 2015.
Somebody mentioned Coach Curry is Mr. Friday Night, and he'll always be that. We'll have some guests up here in the booth, including Bo Orlando, who was on a championship team in 1988, and Dave Robbins, who was the quarterback in 1997. We have old video to show you as well. But on the field, we have a big game tonight, especially for district points and in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Berwick won the toss. They have deferred. We'll see that Coughlin offense up first. We're underway at Crispin Field. That was Vincent Todd on the return. Here are your Northwoods Nissan starting lineup. Zach King is back, injured a couple times this year, 401 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Nick Salafi, very good, 6 catches, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns. And up front, they are big and strong, including Evan McManus, 6'2", 250-pound senior. And they'll have their work cut out for them, John, with a big defense, a Berwick defense that gives up only 97 yards on the ground.
Yeah, a little bit of quickness up front, too, for the Bulldogs.
Well, that's King who bobbled it, got it right back to him, so a couple yards. The ball up to the 18-yard line.
Well, Coughlin's offense, we'll see if Jacob Solar could get them going. I mean, he keeps the ball an awful lot. They'll have that lead back kind of go for him and see what he could do. But Ryan Sold up front tried to get his team fired up in pregame today, and he is a highly touted junior on this offensive line as well.
Coughlin comes in, averaging 29 points per game. They are all run, 278 yards on the ground per game, just 49 through the air. Solar's the main guy. Here he's first rush, and he has a first down for Coughlin up past the 30 to the 31.
Freshman fullback came in and did a great job there. Javron Young, 5'9", 240 pounds.
Northwoods Nissan, Berwick starting line. Sean McCole, boy, he likes those little nose guards, does Coach Curry. 5'8", just 190 pounds. He's a senior. Linebackers very quick. Randy Miller, 25 tackles on the year, and the secondary is very good, including Justin Kroschik, a junior, 21 tackles and an interception for him. So Coughlin picks up that initial first down, John, and again, they have to go through the emotions as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Solar looks to pass, throws it out of bounds.
We tried getting Hostovic over there towards the sidelines, but overthrown, as Solar tried to see if he could capture that corner and get around the edge.
Solar just 16 completions on the year for Cyril Cinti's team. 413 yards, 7 touchdowns, but does have 5 interceptions. His longest pass play of the year was 72 yards.
It is a running offense. You know, he's not going to throw that often. He does have an arm on him. Can get it to some receivers when he's called upon.
He's a big kid, 6'4", 210 is Solar. That one's coming back, couple guys moving. They ran the jet sweep very efficiently last week against Wyoming area for Vincent Todd. They tried to do it right there, but 2 guys are moving. Chuck Suppan, our referee tonight.
Okay, that's going to be declined. I have an illegal shift on the offense. That'll be refused.
So that goes decline. Here you see it again.
Well, 2 guys again in motion, so no yards. Let's just let it go right now. Half a yard they gave him.
So a big 3rd down on the way and long. Typically, John, this is a throwing down for most teams, but I would think for Coughlin, they may run it here with a quarterback sneak.
Yeah, I mean, they got the freshman fullback in there again, so maybe they'll try to lead with him. And Berwick, I think, is going to be loaded for bear to stop the run.
Berwick, 3rd best defense in the conference this year. Solar going downfield into double coverage, has it intercepted at the 48 of Berwick. And that looks like that's Cicini. Look at it again.
They kind of do a little Tebow action. Let's fake the run. Let's back up a little bit. Right in his grill are the Bulldog defense. And then an interception as the Bulldogs come down with it. And it looked like it might have been Cicini or Groshek over there.
Looked like 24 Groshek, yep. So Force comes in to start this game. This is Alex Koch off the right-hand side, so already a change in the starting lineup for Berwick. You never know George Corey what he's going to do. He's got 2 quarterbacks he's going to play with.
Other than he's going to run to his sideline a lot. That hasn't changed over the years. And likes running to his sideline. Get a couple of blocks over there. Zach King trying to help out, but a good job over there from number 32, Kenzakowski.
So Berwick inside Coughlin territory. Big gain on the first run from Koch. This is Cicini, shifty. He's in the open. Anthony Cicini's going to go in for a Berwick touchdown. No flags on the play. 45 yards. So that's your first MC Financial touchdown of the game. John, that's a big one.
Well, we mentioned Cicini in the pregame that he could be the guy. 114 yards last week, and he explodes for a long touchdown run for the Bulldogs.
Coughlin has had problems tackling on the year. They gave up another big play. Justin DiVillario in for the extra point. It's up and it's good. 9:26 left in the first quarter. The Bulldogs strike first. That guy right there has them up 7-0.
Coach, this is Jake Kelchner.
And this is Tom Ropsock.
We want to congratulate you on your 400th victory as a Bulldog.
Coach, you meant a lot to a lot of people, and we appreciate everything you've done. Congratulations.
Oh, we have had over 25 videos sent in from former players, John, and we had to narrow it down to 6 or 7, but really the outpour of everyone related to Berwick football has been outstanding.
Guys like that, you remember when they played, you know, and here they are sending their messages and doing some fun stuff as guys do, and great to see them.
So Coughlin's going to get another chance now. This is Todd from his 5. has a big hole. One man to beat. Vincent Todd's off to the races. Coughlin strikes right back. 95-yard touchdown. Boy, that MC Financial touchdown, we may be saying it all night long.
95-yard kickoff return by Vincent Todd.
You take it any way you can get it, and for the Coughlin Crusaders, special teams working. Todd literally from the 5-yard line, and look at that hole in the center of the field. The kicker tried to see if he could contain him, but not going to happen as Vincent Todd takes that to the house.
What a way to get right back into it. Michael Sinti in for the extra point to tie this one up. Blocked at the point. Goes dead. So the big return from Todd is only negated by the extra point. 7-6 Berwick.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Independence Ford celebrating their 30th year anniversary. We're celebrating by having our biggest sale in 30 years. Stop in and see our incredible offers on our inventory of over 300 new and used vehicles. Visit us online at independenceford.com.
I'm not sure, John, if a shootout benefits one team or the other, but you would think if it's close as Berwick, if it's a shootout, Coughlin has a chance. So already 7-6. Take it any way you get it.
Yeah, I mean, the Crusaders working the special teams. Berwick's defense is pretty stingy, so you get a touchdown that way. Now let's see what you can do defensively if you're the Coughlin Crusaders after Berwick had a big run.
Coughlin hasn't beaten Berwick since 2006 when Gary Campbell was the coach. They haven't beaten a George Curry team since 1982. Cicini up. Yes, 1982 since they beat George Curry. And you saw Ryan Solt early on. Ryan Solt, excuse me, not Ron, it's his dad, really pump up his team. So here are your Northwoods Nissan Berwick starting lineup. Coke gets the start. 278 yards and 3 touchdowns. Luke Fisher, wide receiver, 6 catches, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns. Up front, big and strong, still a little young, but Zach Beckley on the outside, a senior, all Wyoming Valley Conference, 6'3", 280. We had Marshman down as the starter, but it's actually Mike Force who gets in, so a little bit of change at quarterback. We'll talk about that in a second. Here's Coke. Good gain, up to the 44.
Coke and the Berwick Bulldog offensive line. Grabbing 4.5 on that.
2nd and 5 from the Berwick 44.
Here you see, pulling both guys as they have done for years, and then the Crusaders getting in and making a tackle before too much damage is done, like on that last drive.
Berwick's offense comes in averaging 24 points per game, 201 yards on the ground, just 57 through the air. Quarterbacks have been sacked 18 times, though. Cicini with room. Oh, Cicini almost got through up to the Coughlin 41.
Oh, how much has changed. Not too much here in Berwick country. A little shift action from the Bulldogs as they've done. Guys huddled around Curry, you know, different motions, chicken wing and arm up in the air, and these are the kind of formations we're going to do. Look at that lane for Cicini to run that football. One guy missed for the Crusaders. You mentioned that earlier, Bob. You got to be able to wrap up.
Berwick would like to roll the clock down. Cicini met by Solt. Push back. Loss of 3.
Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Ryan Solt, number 50.
Ryan Solt got to keep his emotions in check. Chuck Suppan had that meeting before the game. Guys, got to be under control. We're not going to fool around here. Of course, they say that at every game.
Yeah.
You know, make sure everybody does the right thing. Ryan's just a big kid. Big, tough, strong weight room guy.
Coughlin has given up some points this year, John. They give up 27 points per game. I mean, you look at their stats, though, they're pretty good. Just 198 on the ground, 116, 349 overall. But they have been in some shootouts, and they've been lucky to win some games. Timeout on the field. This time, Berwick calls timeout. So that will give us a chance to take a look at the Northwoods Nissan starting lineup. The defense this time from the Coughlin Crusaders. As aforementioned, Ryan Solt, 6'3", 285, 33 tackles on the year, 11 for a loss. Make that 12 now. Khalid Kredel is your linebacker, 49 tackles on the year, 2 tackles for a loss, an interception, and a sack. He's all over the place. Jeremy Wells, 25 tackles. He's a senior. Of course, Ryan Solt, John, famous father.
Yeah, Ron Solt played, of course, for the University of Maryland. Got drafted and played with the Indianapolis Colts. Went on and kind of wrapped things up with the Eagles. But, you know, he helps out coach with the Coughlin Crusaders. And he's got a couple of, got a uncle that pretty big sports guy. His cousin is into lifted weights. So he's got some people around him that know what to do. And he's good friends with McGovern, who's going to Penn State.
Yep.
And Bleich, who's at Valley West, has been offered. He's only a sophomore. So 3 kids that get along pretty well.
Yep.
They're pretty big kids.
And I'm sure Solt is going to be sought after, too, at the Division I level. So after the timeout, Force comes out. Going to look deep. Fisher out there, but broken up nicely by the Crusaders. And Chris Wright was right there. Luke Fisher remains down.
Downfield, intended for Luke Fisher. Defended by Chris Wright.
Tried going with the deep ball, the Bulldogs. Throwing that on a really long post pattern to Luke Fisher. See the drop here. And great job in closing ground there. Chris Wright, he was beat and then helped make up for it. And Berwick right there, they had their hands on it. And now a substitution issue going against the Bulldogs.
Well, this is really where the emotions come into play. You have to be focused now if you're the Berwick Bulldogs. You can't get caught up in all these alumni being here and George Curry's possible last regular game. You have to play the football game, and I think they know, but the little mistakes like that could really hurt them.
Yeah, and unusual for a Coach Curry team. You know, he practices this stuff, you know, day in and day out.
So key third down. Marshman in, he's the thrower. In and out of the hands. Looked like Harrison Kuchka, number 82. So a punt now coming for the Bulldogs. Good defense by Coughlin to hold them.
Yeah, Solar able to come out, help out. A pretty basic pattern over here. They try to clear it out on a deep out route. And in and out of the receiver's hands. That's the second one now for Berwick.
Berwick fan told me before the game last week he couldn't remember a game that Berwick did not complete a pass. Happened last week against Pittston area. That's a good point. Passing game just has not been there for the Bulldogs.
No, it's just been traditionally strong over the years, but struggling a little bit right now.
Knocked down at the 1. Great special teams effort from Alex Koch. And that's where Coughlin will take over it.
Well, look, Coughlin coach is trying to plead that maybe the Coughlin guy was, you know, in the end zone first. I'm not sure how they're going to do with that argument.
That's the NFL rule.
Jack Metzer Ford Lincoln on Route 11 is celebrating our 40th anniversary. We're proud to serve our hometown. Danville, along with Berwick, Bloomsburg, and all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania, stop by. Get up to $10,000 off select 2015 F-150 trucks.
That was Nicholas Koch from Berwick, who was in the end zone, but remember, in college and high school, the ball has to be in the end zone, not the man. So Coughlin with a long field, 99 yards to go for a touchdown. A big push up front from McManus and company. Gets them out of there. The end zone, up to the 5.
Moves the ball out to the 4-yard line.
That's the thing for the Crusaders with that big O-line, you know, tight splits. And just kind of forge ahead. Maybe you can get out of here and get some first downs with Solar right behind you.
Neither team in a hurry, not worried about time of possession. Really, they want to get the clock to roll down. So into the I formation, Coughlin goes. King with a nice hole. King a first down up to the 16. Shifty run from Zach King.
Following his blocking. Zach King likes to hit on the defensive end. Well, over on the right-hand side here, get a nice block out of Solt. Nice chip block out of his fullback, the freshman. And King forging forward for that first down.
10-yard gain for Coughlin. Oh, this time couldn't get there. Good defense. Zach Beckley's in there, and along with Sean McCole. So here are your impact players. John, take the whole offensive line because they're going to have tough times with McCole and McMillan.
Yeah, and the Berwick Bulldogs are fast. So it's size versus speed. See who wins out. And I think we've had a little mix so far as to who's making plays. A couple of nice gains for the Crusaders, but Berwick will fly around the football.
Young, the fullback, pushing up for just a couple, so 3rd and long on the way for the Crusaders.
One thing we thought we would see would be a lot of Jacob Solar running the football. We've seen a little distribution here. So they decided to go just with Young over on that right-hand side, seeing if he could run through a few people, but didn't have much of a chance. They got him as soon as he hit the line.
Dallas had success against this Berwick defense, running it straight up, and that looks like what Cyril Cinti's team wants to do. Last week it was the jet sweep with Todd. They haven't run that yet.
Yeah, Berwick with a different front, so, you know, we'll see if that comes into factor. Now Berwick's just loading up.
Fumble, Solar lost it, gets it right back though. 4th down coming up at the 16, so the defense from Berwick holds. And they should get good field position out of this one more time. That's a big recovery from Solar, too.
Yeah, something you don't want. Again, there's some guys that are quick up front, so not what you want to do, especially in Bulldog territory.
Looked like Berwick had a chance at that ball. As Dovic, punter, off the side of his foot, gets a big bounce for Coughlin, though. And Berwick will take over. Good field position at their own 48. So it's 7-6. Berwick took their opening drive down, had a big play from Cicini. Then on the ensuing kickoff, Todd ran it back 95 yards, and that's where we stand here. 3:29 left in the first quarter. Both teams have really settled down from that emotional entrance from Coach Curry. Coughlin probably feels, John, that they're right in this game.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look at the scoreboard. That's the first element, but now let's see a little buckle down on your defense.
Force is the quarterback now. Huge hit. Wow. Go ahead, John. What was that?
That was a baboomski.
Zach Kenzakowski.
Well, look at the read right here. Kenzakowski just comes straight up. Helmet to helmet. That's a oucher.
Coke has been banged up, but I have a bell ringer there. It's funny, John, over the 39 years, Coach Curry, see the numbers out there. It almost looks like Paulus and Robbins underneath center and some other guys around him. Here's the option. Force a big run up to the Coughlin 40-yard line. 12 yards for Mike Force.
Coach Curry still sees things. Of course, Berwick, as you mentioned, Bob, going to try to find that passing game as one of the Honda keys to the game. See what they could do to mix it up, get some stuff going there. Just the adjustments that Coach Curry makes all the time. He's able to see things. He's got some good coaches around him over the years, but George always has an eye himself.
Sassini trying to cut through. Kenzakowski holds on, but good, nice pickup of 4 yards to about the 35-yard line.
Sassini came up a little odd on that one. See if he could get the limp out.
With this offense, Berwick, George Curry not going to do anything fancy. Don't want to turn the ball over. Put that offense on for Coughlin. So 3 tight ends in there. Koch through. Kenzakowski with another tackle. 3rd down on the way.
Chris Wright over there to help out as well. Again, you scout the Bulldogs. What are the percentages they run to their sideline? Pretty darn high.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something you got to think about. But every coach always says, well, we got to stay honest back home. Sometimes you got to sell out and load up a little bit.
Yeah, not much has changed over the years for Coach Curry. All comes down to execution. So here's a 3rd and short. Force shedding people, loses it out of bounds, but he's going to be close to a 1st down near the 30. Depends on the mark.
Force on the keeper, but a holding penalty against the Bulldogs.
Coughlin's going to end up backing him up. Now, Eddie Michaels coached at Wyoming Valley West for a number of years, defensive coordinator for the Coughlin Crusaders. You see the different look. They only had 2 guys down. The ends are kind of more stand-up. They have a hold on this play, and that's going to send the Bulldogs back. So bodies flying around, that's for sure. So physical game.
3rd and 18.
So 3rd and long now, just where Coughlin wants them. You want Berwick to try to pass. They have not had success with that. Five guys come in with the play. It's up to Coughlin now to make the read. Force looking, only one man out, and that's Kuchka, and knocked away. Double team down there, almost making a big play was Jeremy Wells, John. So 4th down and off. Berwick will punt.
Oh, they max protect here. The Bulldogs, here you see it. Coughlin got about 4 or 5 guys there, but the single man route just getting up there for the Crusaders. Some good D.
Berwick quarterback's over 4 now. Chance now for Vivario to pin Coughlin deep. Ooh, he pushes it way out of bounds, but this marked at the 33, so a 15-yard punt. Coughlin will take over.
Punt goes out of bounds. It will be Coughlin's ball, 1st and 10 at their 33-yard line.
So Berwick, of course, 6-time state champions in Class AAA. 88, 92, and 94 to 97. 3-time USA Today national champion. But these days, Berwick's a little bit different team as Solar tries to take it himself, but there's that little guy again, McCall, shooting it.
A nice job up front from the Berwick defensive line. Solar looking around, see what he could find. But at the bottom, stone force holding on to those ankles of Jacob Solar, the big quarterback.
Time winds down. The first quarter is about to come to a close, and it's been a good one here so far at Crispin Field in Berwick. The hometown Bulldogs lead by 1.
Hi, I'm Ron Paulus. I played for Berwick High School and Coach Curry from 1990 to 1992. Some of the best football playing days of my career. Coach Curry is an incredible teacher, leader, mentor, and friend. Congratulations, Coach Curry, on your 400th win at Berwick. It's been an incredible career.
We are back at Crispin Field in Berwick. Good crowd on hand watching what has become a very good game on the field. Of course, Ron Paulus is here in attendance. He is out at Notre Dame. He's unable to join us because of NCAA rules, unfortunately. So had a nice chat with Ron before the game. Probably the best quarterback to come out of here. Gatorade Player of the Year, maybe Dave Robbins as well.
Yeah, there's been some great ones. Poor Orlando wasn't too bad
No,
either.
he wasn't either.
That pretty dynamic athlete, Bo, and of course what he was able to do in the NFL. Had a nice career.
See if Bo comes up. We asked him to come up for the second quarter, see if he remembered. Right in the field, Coughlin. Here's that jet sweep fake. Solar with room. Flag comes in. This may be coming back. Solar inside Berwick territory, but again, they're going to rule it a fumble on the field, I believe.
Add insult to injury on that one, because they're Coughlin upset about a hold possibly, and now maybe a fumble.
We have a block in the back on the play. That'll be the refused first down.
Take a look at this again. John Solar coughed it up.
Oh, the fake by Solar. Zach King coming around, and you see Solar get some room. I didn't see the block in the back there, and then at the end, he looked like he was down, and they call a fumble. So rough couple of events there for the Coughlin Crusaders.
Berwick gets the break. Coke up the middle inside Coughlin territory. Gain of 6 to the 46.
Play with a lot of heart. Alex Koch was 5'9", 180 pounds or so. Got 278 on the ground this year.
One thing Berwick has had great field position to begin some drives tonight. They've only taken advantage one time. Koch ripped. Big hit by Kenzakowski. Also Malik Diop in there.
Diop is a junior. And of course, Kenzakowski playing some linebacker. He's a senior.
As we mentioned, over 200 alumni here. Aaron has caught up with a couple. Aaron?
That's right, Bob. Joining me now, a bunch of guys that played here many years ago. Tell us when you graduated and where you went on to play.
Hi, David Ferrigno, class of 86, played at Harvard College.
I'm Jim Matucci, also class of 86, Yale University.
Greg Labus, class of 85, and I played at Princeton.
Dave Campbell, class of 87, University of Pennsylvania.
Gary Campbell, class of 91, Johns Hopkins.
Very cool, a lot of great schools. I have to ask you what it was like coming out, all of the alumni. What was that moment like coming out and helping George Curry onto the field?
It was very emotional. Coach touched everybody, all our families for the last 40 years, and to see a guy like that who meant so much to everybody with 300 people coming from all over the country, it was extremely emotional and tear-jerking, actually.
Yeah. A lot of tears in everyone's eyes. Before the game, there was a big party for all the alumni to get together. How many people were there and what was going on over there?
Well, it was I think about 350 people. We figured out it's probably more than a third of the guys who played for George in the last 45 years. It's amazing. There's a lot of people we haven't seen in 30 years. It's been an amazing experience.
As you can tell, Berwick football is something that definitely stays with you your whole life. Just touch on that a little bit for us.
The number of people that are here is a testament to how he touched our lives and why people come back. And the mottos that he gave us, God, family, football. We used to have T-shirts that had that, God, family, football. And he was an amazing person, and it's sort of the reason why he gets this sort of draw. He's just an amazing person. It's bittersweet to see him now. It's not the same coach that we had, but it is a pleasure to get back here and see him now.
Well, great to have you guys back, and enjoy the rest of your night. Okay, back to you guys.
Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, a lot of tears going down the line, and a lot of emotion. So Marshman over the middle trying to hit. Let's see what they're going to call. Incomplete, they call.
Marshman's pass is incomplete.
So again, Berwick having trouble with that passing game.
Just amazed, people always say, hey, Berwick, football guys, football players. How about student athletes and the schools that those alum went to? Top notch, the best in the country, absolutely, without a doubt. But here's the play, and it does hit the turf, so no interception, incompletion there.
Berwick did make it on a key 4th down, so it's 2nd down here. Berwick in Coughlin territory one more time. They're going to go to the air again. Marshman looking deep. He's got a guy. Kutka kept caught at the 5. They connect on one. Harrison Kutka, the junior, 37 yards.
Jared Marshman, considered an incredible basketball player, one of the best athletes on that team. Now, football-wise, he could heave-ho. And Coughlin almost caught up to it again in that secondary. Their athletes trying to make plays as well, not able to do it. And then, as Bob mentioned, nice job from Harrison Kuchka on the completion inside that 5-yard line.
Berwick inside the Gertrude Hawk red zone. 1st and goal. Sassini just short at the 2.
The big play, something Berwick has done for many, many years. Always seems to be a big pass play. There's a pass play for you that's working, and now we'll try to see if they can punch it in with a couple of runs.
Well, the Coughlin defender had a chance, though, John, to deflect that. He just missed it.
Well, they had 2 plays earlier in the game that they were able to come back and make that play, but this one, Berwick able to sneak it in.
Koch stood up. Good defense. Ripping him down. Nick Salafi.
Alex Koch stopped at the goal line.
A cradle over there is Salafi. Michael Brown helping out.
So big 3rd down here. We're almost midway through this 2nd quarter. Berwick trying to cap a drive, extend their lead. Force. The push, he's in, they're going to give it to him. Touchdown, Berwick.
Mike Force goes in from 2 yards out for the Berwick touchdown.
It's a MC Financial touchdown for the Bulldogs. They started the drive at their own 47. It took 7 plays, and they cap it off with a big touchdown. Extra point is up, and it is through. So the Bulldogs extend their lead now. It's 8 points over the Coughlin Crusaders.
When it comes to your health, you put your trust in a doctor. What are you doing about your financial health? MC Financial Credit Union is your local source for financial health. MC Financial Credit Union is featuring Wallet Share, your complete 360-degree financial health analysis. No matter what your financial condition, MC Financial Credit Union can help. Stop in or call today for your free Wallet Share consultation. MC Financial Credit Union, your choice for all your financial needs.
So Berwick drives the 53 yards, extend their lead to 8. Kick from the Bulldogs went out of bounds. Probably a good idea. You don't want to give Todd the ball again. And Coughlin will take over now. Up at the 20. Up to 35, excuse me. So they'll take over at the 35. I was going to say Coughlin's defense was playing pretty well. Probably the best in a long time now. The offense, that's their mainstay. They have to pick it back up.
Yeah, they had a tough break on that last drive with the block in the back and then the late fumble on that particular play. So, hey, you're going to have breaks go one way or another in a game. You still got to step up and make plays. Let's see if the Coughlin offense can get the job done. Special teams, the only score for them.
Solar really just one big run tonight. Let's see if he can get going. Make the jet sweep. Solar for 6.
Solar bringing a guy in motion, trying to get some movement going. And they'll take 5 or 6 yards if they could out of their big 6'4" quarterback. So the D-back that went halfway in motion, Groshek, he actually makes the tackle, 5'8", 155 pounds. He's a junior. And that's one thing that Coach Curry was excited about coming into this year was this big junior class that he has a lot of athletes.
Monday starts my training. I don't know. Well, a lot of them.
Second guy through is King. He's got a room, tripped up inside Berwick territory. They're going to mark it at the 43.
Zach King 1 footsie away from taking that thing the distance as he got tripped up over there.
17 yards on that, John. Honda key to the game. Got to keep it close.
Yep, 1 touchdown is about as far as you want to stay apart from Berwick. 1 point away is a little better. A tie game, would help. But right now, they're looking at the other end of a touchdown and possibly a 2-point conversion to tie it up. First things first, just get some first downs and move the football.
Move the chains right here.
Let's see. This is 16, 12. He was 8, so she graduated high school at 7.
Solar wrapped up quickly by the interior defense of Berwick. Kyle Pierce on the bottom.
On the Berwick tackle. Loss of 2.
So that Coughlin offensive line, they are big. Berwick's got 5 guys up there. You got to be able to block them. Got to keep moving your feet. And the Berwick defensive front, they're no slouches.
Guy hurt for Berwick, a Berwick Bulldog player down on the ground. Looks like it might be Kyle McMillan holding his knee.
See Ryan Solt over there talking to his quarterback, Jacob Solar.
Kyle Roberts gets up. That was Kyle Roberts, number 99.
Roberts, one of the student athletes here for the Berwick Bulldogs. Coach Curry was excited about as well. 6'1", 220 pounds, has 16 tackles coming in and a sack into week 9.
Loss of 3 on the last play. Second down and long. King bounces off Fisher. Couple yards back to the original line of scrimmage. Third down on the way for the Crusaders.
Berwick Bulldogs flying around defensively and making some tackles. Kyle Pierce, one of those guys, 6'1", 260 pounds. Seen a lot of number 70s in on those tackles.
From the Berwick 43.
2 minutes, but we're going to have time on Coughlin too to get around back. Probably going to take off that.
So Solar gets the play, over 1,000 yards rushing on the season. From his quarterback spot, he's run 125 times and has run about 5 or 6 times tonight already. Solar had a guy, couldn't find him. Comes right back to him. Nice catch by Zalafi. Pickup of about 9 and 4th down on the way. Are they going to give it to him or not? Incomplete. Is it incomplete, John?
Incomplete.
Incomplete over there. Thank you.
Well, flying in there, Alex Koch. So a great job to kind of get the defensive end between King and the freshman fullback. Fireball there, but Alex Koch rifled in over there and knocked that out.
So 4th down on the way. Coughlin decides to kick it back to the Bulldogs.
Standing at his 40-yard line to punt.
That's Dovick. Sends it down. Great catch by Evan Klinger. And Berwick will have the ball close to their 20-yard line. Here's what Berwick has done on the season, opening with a big win over Crestwood. A couple shutouts in there. Selinsgrove, the big test on the year.
Yeah, Selinsgrove's a great football team. They beat Jersey Shore last week. And, of course, the Wyoming area, you know, they've had a couple ups and downs this year. Williamsport started out real strong and then met a little bit tougher schedule. And then Pittston area, the 3rd shutout of the year for the Berwick Bulldogs.
So Jared Marshman is the QB right now. He's a sophomore, 208 pounds. Sassini off the right side, cuts through up to the 22.
Sassini, I just keep giving him the ball the way he looks. He's running very comfortably.
Anthony Sassini on the Berwick carry. Jeremy Wells on the tackle for Coughlin.
Let's look at these guys up front for the Berwick Bulldogs. They double team Salt, tie him up, and then Solar comes over, misses that tackle, and then gets into the secondary a little bit more.
Talked about him in pregame. Big game a week ago, over 100 yards, and you can see why.
Tell them to get their instruments and get ready to move, but they don't need their. They're not doing
Sassini again, this time wrapped up. I think he's going to have the 1st down up to 25.
Anthony Sassini on the carry. Jacob Solar on the Coughlin tackle.
Got to worry about Coughlin getting a little worn down here. You know, it'd be important for them to get a stop. You know, this is the time that Berwick, all right, they got a 1st down. They may try a one-man pattern and go deep, see if they could bang the big play. How often have they done that with mere seconds to go in the half? There's still 2 minutes to go, so wouldn't be surprised with a single pattern over here.
Robbie Harder goes to the far side. Trips to the right, they give it up the middle. Koch with some running room up past the 35 to the 36, 12 yards on that.
Jacob Solar, Coughlin tackle.
Koch got hit pretty good from Solar, almost twice the size of him.
Huh? No.
Coughlin not going to call any timeouts if they're going to give up 1st downs. They do have 3 left. Berwick has 2. We're at the 2-minute mark here of the 1st half. Quick out to Harder. Those are the pass plays that they need to complete.
Yeah, big cushion over there for the Crusaders. Enough for Berwick kind of just literally matriculating down here. You know, 5-6 yards, 8-yard run, 7-yard pass. So they're nickel and diming right now. And again, important for the Crusaders to just stay tight.
Yeah, they don't want to give up the big play if you're Coughlin's defense. Keep it close going into the half. Berwick will get the ball to begin the 2nd half. So they want to score here. Pump fake downfield harder. Overthrown. Didn't have much room, though, to connect with Robbie Harder.
Stop and go action over there for the Bulldogs. Keeping Solar in the middle of the field. You see the heat coming from Ken Zakowski. Good pickup up there. That was Struther who picked him up.
Well, I give a get well to a couple of Berwick Bulldog fans. John Kacherka attends all the games, football, basketball, and George Ropsock. 1941 championship team. Get well from the Berwick Bulldogs. Fourth wrapped up. So 4th down on the way. It's going to be about 3 yards. Nobody's stopping the clock.
Well, they're going to huddle around. Curry known for the shifts on punts. How many do you think he's done in his career?
If you're Coughlin, do you call timeout?
No. Somebody did. Coughlin called timeout.
Timeout on the field with 1:15 remaining in the second quarter. Timeout called by Coughlin. Their first. They have 2 remaining in the half.
So maybe the timeout to settle them down in case there is a fake or something shifty going on. That may settle them in.
So here's what's Coughlin done. And I know, talking to the Crusaders, they were not happy with that loss to begin the season. They went on a little winning streak. Everyone's lost to Valley West, and then another 3-game winning streak.
Well, the Hazelton win over Coughlin might be one of the biggest upsets of the year in Districts 2, 4, 11. Nobody saw that coming. And, you know, everybody had Coughlin on their board somewhere, you know, ranked or honorable mention, or knew they were going to be a pretty good football team. But, you know, Coughlin still had to fight through a tough West Scranton team, 22-19. They won a bunch of close games. And the first few weeks of the season, it came down to the last couple minutes. And again, against Wyoming area, it was the same thing. So they've been the cardiac kids as far as that goes, and on the good end of it with a 6-2 record.
So Di Valerio in flags all over the place. He won't get this one underway. Coughlin trying to make the district playoffs for the first time since 2008. They've had a nice run of Eastern Conference playoffs and have done well, but districts can't seem to find it.
No, Eastern Conference has been the staple for them. But yeah, they'd like to get into those district playoffs and see if they can make some noise.
Coughlin called that timeout, hoping to get good field position. Decent field position at the 26th to start a drive with 1:08 left.
Fair catch, call for Michael Brown for Coughlin.
So it could have been a shootout, we thought, John. Back and forth has really turned into a defensive affair.
Yeah, the Crusaders need to be smart with the football here with that 1:08 left. They try to run it a little bit, secure the football, or will they try to, you know, throw it up top and see if they can grab one?
Solar already intercepted once tonight and had fumbled. So we've settled in here after an emotional beginning for this last game versus George Curry here at Crispin Field in the regular season, at least. Playoffs to be determined. Here's Solar, and everyone kind of saw him, but Solar caught by Koch before he could get out to the open. He's up to the 39.
Very explosive Jacob Solar. See the kind of runs he could do, and of course, nice effort over there on Berwick's end to wrap it up and making the tackle. Nicholas Koch.
Comes the blitz. Big hit put on Solar as Sassini came up and whacked him. Timeout called by the Crusaders.
on the Berwick tackle. Timeout on the field for Coughlin.
That was a pretty big collision here. Solar looking that way, then runs into Groshek, and then 3-4 guys coming in to help make sure Solar's down. The heck of a collision between Solt and Stone Force in the center of the field.
That a planned run. He had 4 guys going out, gave him a quick look, and took off.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he's looking for the right lane and see what he can find and seeing how that defense is closing in on him.
Just no confidence in that passing game.
No.
On either side, really.
Right.
Berwick had that one big play. Another short pass, but that's been it. Coughlin, same thing. So here come the Crusaders. They average 29 points per game. Downfield, in between 2 Berwick players. Trying to hit a little seam pattern. Goes incomplete.
Pass downfield intended for Michael Brown. Incomplete. Defended by Sassini and...
Well, Michael Brown's eyes went right towards the backside D-back. See it right there? He didn't want to get laid out. That post pattern just needed to be a little quicker. He was open for a half a second before that, but there was just a tight window there. Needed somebody almost occupy that backside D-back.
Coughlin now just wants to pick up that first down. Good job by the Berwick defense. Kyle Pierce is in there. 4th down on the way. Let's see if Coach Curry now wants to call timeout.
Tackle at the line of scrimmage by number 74, Kyle Pierce.
Well, they wrapped King up. Kyle Pierce did. Zach King wanted to try to keep going. Thought he spun around and wasn't down.
At the 46.
Coughlin just content now to roll this clock out.
And the clock will run out, ending the first half. Our score.
And that should do it. So first half is in the book. We've settled down here at Crispin Field, and hometown Bulldogs have an 8-point lead over the Coughlin Crusaders as we head to the half. And actually, we've called timeout. They're giving him a timeout. Everyone thought we were going down. But Coughlin takes the TO. 1 second left. Well, that will give Aaron time to get over and get Cyril Cinti at least.
Yeah.
Where are you walking from?
So, again, Berwick gets the ball
Where are you walking
in the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Coming up at the half, we'll hear from Amanda Kuhl. A little preview of next week's game between Riverside and Dunmore. Aaron has a special guest from MC Financial, and we will recap this first half.
But are you going from here or are you coming from over there? Oh, you're going that way? But I'm going to go over there.
So on 4th down, Coughlin comes out, going to run a play. Trips to the right. Solar doesn't have any time. He's going to take off. And Solar holds on to the ball, just gets some stats out of that, and that will do it. And now we're going to have a little bit of a skirmish, a little chippy on the last play. That ends the first half. And on that note, these teams will go into the locker room. So a good half of football, John. Berwick with a couple touchdowns. They're holding Coughlin in check.
Yeah, Crusaders are going to have to come up with a couple of their own big plays. They look like they're close with Jacob Soler, breaking one here or there to get right back in it. I mean, just one score away. Here's Aaron with the Coughlin coach. Aaron?
Coach, your kid's not distracted by this atmosphere here tonight, playing a tough first half. What are your thoughts?
Oh, they were told about this and they know it. There's a resilient bunch of seniors, and our team's done this all year, so we're not phased. It's just a matter, got to make some more plays on the field.
Now that you've seen what Berwick's offense has to offer, what do you have to do to shut them down in the second half?
Well, we got defensively, we have to make plays when we can, meaning we had 2 chances for interceptions and we didn't make the play. So I think it's just a matter of adjusting and making plays. That's it.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Bob.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Coach. So at the half, it's Berwick with a 14-6 lead. When we come back, it's Amanda Cool with a preview of next week's game.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Berwick High School. You're watching live high school football right here on MyTV WQMY. It's George Curry's last home game. We're so glad you could join us. I'm Erin Dugan, and joining me now is Elizabeth Hiddle from Members Choice Financial Credit Union. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for having us.
Now, you guys have been in this community a long time. Tell us how long.
We have about 60 years, little over.
And what's made you just want to keep continuing to be in the community for that long?
The organizations and the things that we support and the community service that we do and provide, the fundraisers that we provide, 6 decades with Wounded Warriors and Red Cross, and just a bunch of things in that capacity.
Yeah, just talking before, it seems like you guys really love getting involved in charitable organizations. Why is that?
One of the things you want to do is when you're in a financial institution is to give back to the area, and that's what we want to do.
You're also focused on being family-oriented. What kind of things do you offer for the whole family?
Oh, we offer family credit cards, which are really nice because one of the things that we focus on is financial literacy and educating young people on how to do finances. So we offer a program that parents and children can get credit cards together, and it's a whole type of program that teaches them how to be financially responsible.
Very cool. So business stuff aside, you're actually a Berwick graduate, and you have some pretty cool ties here. Tell us about that.
I am. I was born and raised in Berwick, a graduate of Berwick High School. My father, 30-plus years, taught high school at the high school, Berwick Area High School, and he also was assistant coach with George Curry for many years. So we're very happy. I'm happy to be sponsoring or hosting the game tonight and honoring George Curry, and happy to be a member of Members' Choice.
Well, we're happy to have you. And where can people find you?
We are located in Bloomsburg. I'm in the Bloomsburg area. We also have offices in Danville, Lewisburg, and over in the Merck Credit Union, or the Merck facility is our credit union.
All right, Elizabeth, thanks so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, stay with us. We'll be right back right here on MyTV WQMY.
Hey, Coach. Chris Orlando. Want to congratulate you on your 400th win.
Coach Bo Orlando. Also want to congratulate you on your 400th win. Thank you for being a mentor, not only on, but off the field.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations, and I want to thank you for taking care of my 2 boys.
Welcome back inside the First Columbia Bank press box, your community bank. That's with you every step of the way. Bob Ide, and he's John Mendola. We're enjoying a very good game. It started out as emotional as you expect when George Curry took the field with over 200 and 250 Berwick alumni here, but really both teams have settled down, and it was a very entertaining first half.
It was. I mean, Berwick came out, and they were able to punch things in quickly, and then, of course, Coughlin battled right back with a big special teams play, and as you mentioned, it settled down a little bit and kind of back and forth. Not much going on as far as scores, but I think we've seen some quality play and looking for somebody to kind of break it loose. In particular, the Crusaders hoping it's them to get right back in it. They're only a 1 score down.
1 score down, but they do have two turnovers, an interception and a fumble. And here's that interception right there. Anthony Cicini with a big INT, and then he caps it off with a 45-yard touchdown run.
We mentioned him before the game is going to be an impact player, and big plays that he comes up with that big run. And then Todd breaks free for 95 yards on the kick return to get the Crusaders right back in it. They missed the extra point, actually gets blocked, and then they find themselves down 1. Todd, big numbers for him as you see the kick here. And a nice job on the inside, slip it in. Then Berwick goes long balling right here as they get behind the defense.
Kutchko with a nice reception, so first and goal, and then tapped off by quarterback Mike Force, who's pushed into the end zone. That's where the scoring is right now. 14 points on the board for Coughlin. 6 on the board. 6 on the board for Coughlin and 14 on the board for Berwick. I'll get it straight pretty soon. 106 total yards for the Crusaders in that first half. 174 for Berwick, 128 through the air. So Coughlin got to get that running game going.
Yeah, Jacob Soler, they got to be able to break free from some of the Berwick defenders. Him and Zach King, it seemed like there was a play or two, and maybe they're just one step away. So somebody's got to step up and make that big play for them. Passing game right now, it's an experiment. It's just not working.
Okay, a lot more to come. A big second half on the way here from Crispin Field in Berwick. Score remains Bulldogs 14, Crusaders 6. We'll be right back.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
It's homecoming here at Berwick's Crispin Field. Just got the homecoming queen and queen crowned. So it's an extra long half, and we're winding down. And Berwick is on the field along with Coach Curry waiting Coughlin. So here now, John, we get to look into the District 2 AAA standing. Scranton Prep, you're telling me, is winning at the half over Delaware Valley. That'd be a huge win for them. Coughlin and Berwick battling out, Valley View winning as well.
Yeah, and Dallas right now winning. So, and Wallapapack winning, and Abington Heights is trailing North Potomac. It's going to be a scramble in the next game. It's tonight will wrap up. We'll get those figures in, and then we'll see where we're at when it all wraps up. It'll be a couple-point difference likely between some of these because there'll be some ties as far as overall wins.
Okay, let's go to Double-A now, and Lake Lehman out in front, and we'll have Dunmore, Riverside. Dunmore winning, Riverside winning, beating Lakeland, Northwest winning, I believe, as well. So, it looks like Lake Lehman now heading towards that big Dallas game next week and maybe home field advantage.
Yeah, and that'll be a great game. I think Lake Lehman and Dallas will be outstanding, and, they got to be ready. I mean, Dunmore has a huge one as well, but, we'll see what happens if Lake Lehman could earn the top seed and gain that home field advantage for them.
Still a scramble there. Even Myers GAR next week is going to be a big game because, that could still mean Eastern Conference or maybe District 2 playoff points.
Yeah, that's going to iron out. You would think Northwest has the inside track because of their schedule, beating Tunkhannock tonight. Right now they're winning, and then next week with their game. So, again, the Rangers may get in, and then who's that fourth team?
Who is that fourth team? So playoffs right around the corner. Riverside, Dunmore could be for the Division II crown up in the Lackawanna Football Conference. We'll have that game live for you next week as well. So here's the big games next week, John. Lake Lehman, Dallas. Boy, that Paul Pack Del Val game could come down. Delaware Valley still fighting for that second spot in the sub-region. We talked about Prep. They have West next week, and tough game there. North Pocono Valley View's right in there, and Scranton Abington. Another big game.
Yeah, and Scranton right now keeping it close against Wyoming Valley West. So, all these teams jockeying for position for that postseason. And it's been a pretty exciting year, that's for sure. We'll get into a little extra sleep this weekend. We could rest, and then we'll be ready to go for that final game.
There's Mike Force, starting quarterback. He's a junior, wearing that very popular and very infamous number 7. Seen a lot of those number 7s through the years around Paulus, Dave Robbins, Jeremy Chapin, Bo Orlando. I mean, you go down the list and that number 7, everyone's going to wear that.
Yeah, well, we got to see another guy coming through the press box. And you always heard Coach Curry talking about Charlie Fedorko for years. We happened to say hello to him as he came through, a West Virginia guy.
Aaron, you talked to the defensive coordinator from Berwick. What did he have to say?
I did, Bob. I talked to defensive coordinator Keith Seeley. He said, hey, we just got to keep doing what we're doing, but be aware of Solar. He said he's a really athletic kid, and he can definitely make some plays. Just be aware of him. He also said defensively, they just have to stay on their assignments, stay on the task. Now, offensively, he said they just want to be patient. He said, hey, they're bigger than us up front, and we have to be aware of that.
Thank you, Aaron. And, boy, the assistant coaches have been very faithful to Coach Curry, John.
Yeah, Andy Mahaley has been around a long time, 34 years. Of course, Seeley, 19 years helping out and doing some good stuff. And John Jola, 31. There's been some other guys that have come with Coach for a couple decades and moved on to other things that they were able to do. But, you know, Coach Curry has kept these guys in tune with the football game. And, of course, the alum here as well. They all follow their website and just eat and breathe and sleep Berwick football.
So there are the Crusaders down 8, looking for that first win over Berwick in almost 10 years. And they would like nothing to get it tonight here at Crispin Field and secure a spot in the district playoffs for the first time since '08. So a lot on the line as we head towards the second half here. Berwick will receive. Coughlin will be on defense.
Beth Hansen, you are the winner of the autographed football. Please go to the Ken Pollock stand to claim your prize. Beth Hansen, the winner of the autographed football. Michael Sente will kick off for Coughlin to begin the second half. Berwick will receive, defending the west end zone.
So Michael Sente will tee it up for the Crusaders. He is the son of the head coach. Back to receive, looks like Cicini and Koch, and they're up near past the 12. Berwick has started out with great field position in their five possessions. 0-37 for Berwick was the worst field position they started with. Let's see what they start here now. Second half underway at Crispin Field. Onside kick is pulled down by a Bulldog. And Johnny on the spot, Kyle McMillan pulls it down, and Berwick again, good field position at the 40.
A decent placement for the Independence Ford, celebrating their 30-year anniversary. We're celebrating by having the biggest sale in 30 years. Stop in and see our incredible offers on our inventory of over 300 new and used vehicles, or visit us online at independenceford.com.
Marshman a little out. It's been successful. Ball to turf. Fisher knocks it out. Picked up by a Bulldog. Kyle McMillan again. All the way at the Coughlin 30. Boy, the Crusaders had a chance there.
They look dazed right now, Coughlin. The ball was on the turf. It was theirs. It just didn't bounce their way. So you see trying to get the extra yards right here, and then the pill goes popping right about there. And now you're like, okay, we got this. Oh, boy. And nice job from the Berwick Bulldogs at getting on that football.
So Coughlin needs to step up. Cicini knocked behind the line of scrimmage as Solar comes up. Loss of 3.
Excellent play from Jacob Solar, fighting off the blocker and then just coming upfield. You see Solt trying to get involved. Solar got right into the helmet. How about that for a quarterback, getting right in there and then making the trip up? Solar wants it. He's trying to step up and see if he can do it maybe defensively.
Coughlin defense has not played that bad tonight. They've given up really 2 big plays. Force a little option, keeps it. Wrapped up quickly on the outside by Zach King. 3rd and long for the Bulldogs.
Force on the keeper.
You see Force over on that right-hand side. And an excellent job over there by the Crusader defense. D up.
3rd and 11 at the Coughlin 33.
Marshman checking in now.
Marshman coming in. A little bit better thrower. Completed 13 of 34, 295 yards. 3 touchdowns, interception. We have flag down.
Substitution.
Infraction on the offense.
Uncharacteristic mistakes by the Bulldogs.
5-yard penalty, illegal participation against the Bulldogs. 3rd and 16.
Coach says just run it.
Coughlin.
So with Marshman into the game anyway, Bob, you're thinking maybe they're going to go up top.
Fisher comes around. Under pressure. A lot of time for Marshman. Sassini fumbles.
Pass downfield.
Who has it?
Fumble on the play.
No matter what, 4th down might be up for Berwick. No signal yet. Fisher comes up with it.
By Luke Fisher.
But 4th down and long coming up for the Bulldogs.
Coughlin can't catch a break on the loose balls. Good job, though, from the Bulldogs of keeping it alive. And you see the poise here from Marshman looking around. He had all kind of time. Solt missed that tackle. He gets it out to his running back. And then Solar causes the fumble. See Sassini with the football. And Solar able to knock that out. Maybe that's where Solar could play at the college level. Might be a nice, he's a good-sized linebacker.
Yeah.
There he comes up as a big, strong safety.
So Berwick is on to punt. DiValerio in again, trying to pin Berwick deep. Clock is rolling now. Make the change. He'll angle it to the right. Short kick goes out of bounds inside the 20. And the market actually at the 21. So that's where Coughlin takes over. So good defense to stand by the Crusaders. Very important in the 3rd quarter when Berwick had the ball to begin.
Good, but you're frustrated if you're a Crusader fan because you had 2 balls on the turf and you didn't get either of them. So not much of a difference in field position of where that fumble would have been recovered on that latest. But, you know, nonetheless, Coughlin hoping for a couple of breaks. They're going to have to make their own.
So here come the Crusaders. Just 106 total yards in that first half. And just 6 points. Lowest output for the season. 20 points they scored against Valley West, but that was late. Here's King. And there's that Berwick defense. So this defense, John, very good coming in. 3rd in the conference overall. What have you seen that Coughlin may have to change here in the second half?
Well, they got to finish plays. You know, they're close to making a play. They've had a couple of good breaks here and there. I think their offensive line's got to stay with their blocks, keep driving their feet, and get these guys to create some lanes for the playmakers for Coughlin, whether it's King or Solar. Or maybe have another guy step up like Todd stepped up on that big return in special teams.
Give it to Todd on the jet sweep. He's got running room and speed. Has a block, no flag. Inside, buried. Ball comes out. He was down, I think, but they're going to call it a fumble. Coughlin has it. There's a break for Coughlin at the Berwick 43. Todd shaken up. Coughlin remains in possession, so a lot going on that play. Might have been a hold here on the outside, but not called.
Well, if you have a guy with big play ability, why not give him the ball? You know, they gave it to him on special teams. Now they get him involved. He gets cut in half over there by the Berwick defenders. That one will sting a little bit. Holding his elbow just a hair, but they're hoping to maybe get Todd back in this ball game to make another big play. But they are in Bulldog territory. They'll take that.
Big hit by Alex Koch to knock that free, but Nick Zalafi recovered. So Coughlin on the move, trying to get back into it. King lucky to even come up with that ball. Proves to be a 5-yard gain up to the 39.
Well, there's the bounce Coughlin needed because that could have been really ugly. That snap looked like it went right through Solar's hands. Let's watch this. There's a snap, bounced right off his hands and right into King's. It's not a bad play, the old jump ball, bounce ball, whatever you want to call it, into the running back.
So Coughlin now with a big second down. So King a couple yards, big third down on the way.
Picks up 1 yard.
I think John Coughlin has to take advantage of this. They haven't been in Berwick territory that much in this game.
All of a sudden, Todd feels better, so he's back in. Maybe that will be the spark Crusaders need, that big playability that Todd has shown.
Time winding down, coming up near the 10-second mark on the play clock. Fake the jet. Solar room holds on to the ball. First down up to the 26.
Coughlin, first down.
Well, McCole in on that tackle. The speedy nose tackle, 5'8", 190 pounds. The fake to Todd. Solar just meandering through there. And then coming downfield, never giving up, is McCole, the senior.
Tackle by Kyle McMillan. So Coughlin on the move. This drive started back at their own 21 after they held Berwick on the first possession. Continue with those 4 wideouts. There's good defense by McCole and John McMillan. They've done that all night long. They try to fake it. Doesn't work.
Yeah, McMillan jumped on that ball earlier, helped Berwick, and now he makes a tackle.
So while we have a moment, we want to introduce former Berwick quarterback, Dave Robbins. Dave, welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
You quarterbacked the 1997 championship team, I believe?
Actually, it was 94, 95.
Okay, so I gave you a little bit too much credit.
Yeah.
So after we watch this play, you can tell me, tell us about being on the field and what it's been like to see all the former alumni back. But a big play here for the Crusaders at the 28. Solar just does not have time to throw it. Cole in there, and Solar was going the wrong way, John. Just got to get rid of it.
Well, you mentioned 16 passes coming in, and, when you're moving the ball downfield, yeah, you want to pass, but Berwick's making it awfully tough on the edges. They're able to seal that corner once, but they're tough to do with some big bookends. Pierce, just a physical guy, 6'1", 260 on the one end. And then Beckley over on the other end, 6'3", 280.
So back to the 43 it goes, and it's 3rd and forever for Coughlin. They had a nice drive going, but a big play by the Bulldog defense. Intercepted. McCole pulled it in. McCole all the way into the Berwick Coughlin territory at the 45-yard line.
This kid is everywhere, man. I mean, he's downfield making tackles. He's making interceptions as a nose guard. How does that happen?
Second interception on the year. Sean McCall, that's a big one. It stops the Coughlin drive. Gets Berwick the ball back, and really Solar has no time tonight at all to throw.
He had nothing. There was absolutely nothing he could do. He just literally tried to make something happen with the Berwick defense doing what they have done. And McColl's got some quick hands, some quick feet, and a big heart, and playing so well for the Dogs.
So Marshman in. Another quick out goes incomplete. So Dave, I asked you, what, 250 or so alumni here? What's it been like to see all these football players back?
It was a great experience tonight. I mean, we got here around 5 o'clock. We're checking ourselves in. There was about 200 and, like you said, 250, 260 people here tonight. It was an awesome experience to see some of the kids I coached as a player here, and some of the people I looked up to, such as Jake Kelchner was here, Rob Robsock, some of those guys that you looked up to. It was a really nice moment this afternoon.
And then emotional as Coach walked through the line.
Oh, to see him come through there, you just how much respect you have for him and what he's done in my life, professionally, personally, as an athlete. He's just been as someone that's it's really helped me come through, and I just really respect everything that's happened in my life, and it's just great to see the team here out here doing well, and to see Coach Curry out here.
Coach was a networker before networking was kind of the buzzword. I mean, he networked and just knew everybody, and he'd make that call for you, whether it was a job at a small little store, a school, a business, it didn't matter, a coach.
Absolutely. Like I said, what he's done for just for my whole family, I just respect the man, and he's just done so much for us, and I just so happy to see that the team's doing well here and that things are going in the right direction.
Now, you were part of one of those 6 championship teams, right? We told you.
Yeah, 90. Actually, it was 2 of them.
2 of them?
94, 95. We won 2 state championships. And then actually my cousin, Jeremy Chapin, was a quarterback after that, and he won the other 2. So as a family, we talk about we had 4 of them. So it's just a great honor. We talk about it, as a family, and we're just really honored that we were part of that and part of this night.
We do have some old video. I think we'll wait till after this 4th down for Berwick and see if we got you or Jeremy playing. There's a number 7. We know there's a number 7 in there. So here's 4th down for Berwick. Cecchini has it and more.
He's got it.
Anthony Cecchini inside the 20, wrapped up at the 16. Nice 21-yard gain for number 26.
The 2 players for Berwick who we expected to play well, they are. McColl and Cecchini. Cecchini able to bounce, and Cecchini able to get into some deep territory there for the Bulldogs.
So Berwick on the move inside the Gertrude Hawk red zone, trying to up their lead. Maybe pull this one out a little bit and get back into 2nd place in the district standings. Of course, Dave, then you have a timeout, I think, coming.
Okay.
Okay, we got a couple more players, so let's go down to Aaron quickly.
Well, that's right, Bob. 2 more Berwick football alumni. Guys, why don't you identify yourselves, tell us when you played here and what you went on to do.
Steve Williams, played 83 through 85. Graduated in 86, went on to the Naval Academy. Graduated in 1990. Just had my 25th reunion last weekend.
Tony Malatesta, graduated 1986. I went on to Millersville University. I'm in medical sales.
Now, you said that Coach Curry really kind of helped push you into the Naval Academy. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Actually, Tony and I were getting recruited by Millersville. Went down for a visit and came back, and Coach said, Army and Navy are both looking at you. I actually wanted to go to West Point back then, and they wanted to send me to prep school, but Navy said, you're in. I came down for a physical, but Coach is the one that stayed on me. Told my parents, pushed me because I didn't want to fill out the application, but he was the main driving force that sent me to Navy. So,
what was it like tonight, kind of just greeting him onto the field, just seeing all those former players? What was that like emotionally?
I'll tell you what, it's pretty emotional. I live down by Philadelphia. I do make it back, but I haven't been back to a game in a while. I do see Coach pretty much on a regular basis, but seeing him come out and having him see some of the former players that haven't been around in a while, it was nice for him, nice for the players. So.
How about some memories? I know we talked earlier. You said, "Oh man, I just have so many," but what really sticks out for you?
What really sticks out with me with Coach Curry, what one man has done for this small community of 20,000 people right now. I mean, we've had Nightline on this field. He's brought this little town, and not only all of northeastern Pennsylvania, to have guys. I've had friends come in from California, Florida, just to come in for one night, and a guy that's affected this one small community. He's probably had over $2 million in scholarships for kids in this small town, and what one guy did for this community is just amazing to me. And that's why I think you have such an outpouring for him right now.
Thanks for stopping to chat, guys. Have fun tonight.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right. Bob?
Sure, Dave, you echo those sentiments, but let's see. Berwick in the Gertrude Hawk red zone trying to cap a touchdown. First and goal. Pitch to Wida is out. I have to ask, all these formations, how did you remember all these formations?
Hey, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. You know what, though? He brought it down on a simple level, though. That's one of the best things about Coach is he made it simple. It's so complex as it was. He made it simple, and he made you understand it in a way that it worked for everyone.
Now, what goes on in a huddle like this? Take us inside.
This can get a little serious here because he's really thinking right now. So he's thinking 5 plays ahead, and as a coach with him, it's amazing because his mind is 5 plays ahead of what he's thinking right now. And there were times, you know, as a coach, and that's what I remember most was there were times when I was with him and we're on defense, and he actually called me up on the upstairs on the booth and said, "What do you want to do for the next time we're on offense and going for a 2-point conversion?" And there I'm thinking, he's thinking the next possession, we score the touchdown. What kind of play do you want to do for 2-point conversion? so that's when I realized as a young coach with him that I'm way out of my league.
Is that okay? Is this you?
Oh, yeah, that's
roll
me.
some video here.
Okay.
Hold out the
Yep.
Here's George. Here's some old video of Dave Robbins. Went into the vault, Dave. What is this play?
Oh, that's flanker fly. Oh, yeah. Justin and John Domenico there.
It looks like you're playing Perry Academy. Is that it? Looks like.
Oh, that now this isn't. I think this might be my cousin Jeremy on this one.
That
now.
might be Jeremy, yeah.
Yeah. But the previous play was definitely.
That might be Jeremy.
Yeah.
Back to the present day.
How about the plays, Dave? Any of the plays actually change as far as the names? Are they all the same?
No, it sounds like it's pretty much the same. It's the same formation. He's going to out-formation you. He's going to try to run as many formations as he can, and then he's going to scheme off that. So once he figures out what scheme is going to work off that formation, he's going to continue with that.
So Bulldogs inside the Gertrude Hawk red zone. 3rd and goal on the way. Trying to extend their lead over the Crusaders.
He's in a brown formation now. And
Sassini in for another touchdown. Berwick. So the MC Financial touchdown extends the Berwick lead over the Crusaders with 1:03 remaining here in the 3rd.
What kind of advantage out of this? The brown formation. Good enough for Sassini as they pull both of those guys, create the hole in the middle, clean it on up for a touchdown.
Football, again, is all about 6-on-1 or 5-on-1, and he puts on one side. If there's 6-on-1, he's going to take those brown backs and cut them across on a cutback. And if they don't match that up, he's going to run that side. So it's one or two ways he's going to go with it, and that's how he runs that formation. It's been very effective for the last, 20 years.
Extra point, no good. But Berwick extends their lead as they drive down the field. 45 yards on 8 plays. Sassini does the honors.
Coach Curry, Don Nealon here, West Virginia. Hey, congratulations on your 400th victory. What a milestone, sensational. You know, Coach, when we recruited one of your players, we knew we got a winner, and that's because of you. Congratulations again.
Coach Don Nealon, former West Virginia coach. A lot of guys from Berwick, West Virginia. You went to Boston College, had very, very successful up there. But we know Bo Orlando went down to West Virginia, among others. Was very successful after that. Coughlin's got to pick it up. They're going to be in trouble here. Now, John Coughlin has their work cut out for them. Down 14 now. Really, offense has done nothing except for that last drive, and they coughed it up. So
going to have to be one play, one drive at a time, and a few first downs, hopefully. So we saw special teams put points on the board for Coughlin, and now we see the ball bouncing not the right way for them, and they are buried deep here in their own territory.
Spot will be the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 for Coughlin.
So it's at the 12. Coughlin, 88 yards away. They need touchdowns now. Boy, John McCole is really playing a good game tonight in that nose guard position.
Sean McCole once again on the Berwick tackle.
Dave, you've had a couple of guys that look like McCole play when you played, and you love those guys that are short and fast, and they'll hide all over the place, but they got a nose for the football.
Absolutely, and that's what Coach was always about, is finding those little people that could just do that thing, you know what I mean? And they were fast, they were strong, and they were quick. And in high school football, speed wins. And you can find, especially on defense, with those nose guards, you know, Mike Kaufman, those type of guys, what I played with, they really made a difference.
Out quick to Michael Brown. Good gain up to about the 18-yard line.
Great hustle. Beckley running over there, 6'3", 280.
Coughlin's not going to deviate from the game plan. Maybe to go to the air. Coughlin, Crusaders, down 14 to Berwick. 4th quarter on the way here at Crispin Field.
Jack Metzer Ford Lincoln on Route 11, celebrating our 40th year anniversary. Proud to serve our hometown of Danville, along with Berwick, Bloomsburg, and all northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Stop by and get up to $10,000 off select 2015 F-150 trucks.
We are back at Crispin Field, everyone. Bob I, John Mendola, and Aaron Dugan, along with former Bulldog Dave Robbins. We're in the First Columbia Bank and Trust press box, your community bank that's with you every step of the way. Cheerleaders throwing out some footballs here to begin their 4th quarter. Bulldogs up with another touchdown in that 3rd. Coughlin trying to get in it, getting those first downs, and they come up past the 21-yard line. So a big 4th down call now, John, for Coughlin. I think they're going to measure it first. It's pretty close.
A little shuffle pass straight up the gut of the defense.
How much did Bo Orlando and Ron Paulus have influence on you in coming up through the system?
I'll tell you what, they definitely had influence, but I'll be honest with you, the person that had the biggest influence was Jake Kelchner.
Yeah?
I was in elementary school, and he came over for like a little pepper rally.
Big 4th down. They need a push. They get it. Zach King open. Koch makes a nice tackle past the 30, but Coughlin moves the change. Sorry, Dave.
And when they won that state championship in '88, I was, only in middle school, and I just remember thinking, how awesome that was, and how much I inspired to want to be a quarterback, and to want to be someone like Jake Kelchner. He was definitely something, at 8, 9 years old. That was something that was really cool, and something I inspired to want to be. So that was awesome.
John, a big 1st down for Coughlin, though. I mean, they keep the ball and keep possession.
It has to start now. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter, and they need to score now, and then hopefully make another play. But again, it's a 1st down situation. They got to start getting 1st downs and hopefully eliminate some flags if this one's on them.
Chuck Suppan, the referee tonight.
Dead ball. False start on the offense.
One thing that Chuck Supon's never been accused of is soft-spoken.
That's true. Now, he's your boss, right?
Yeah, he's
at
the
Wyoming Valley West?
Yes, I'm principal of Wyoming Valley West. He's the superintendent. He does a great job, and he's, that's why he's here in this game tonight. It's a big game, and, they picked the best to be here, and I assume that's why he's been selected.
You must take it over there pretty good, being a former Bulldog and Valley West being the arch rival.
Sure, absolutely. Looks like the ball's on the ground there.
Yeah. They've had trouble with that snap all night. Solar gets it, and Bulldogs say they have it. No signal yet. Waiting for the white hat. They do. Coughlin coughs it up again. Randy Miller comes up with the ball.
Berwick's defense has been steady all year long, and once again, they make a play. Opportunity after opportunity, and the Bulldogs find ways to bounce on footballs.
They've had trouble with that snap several times tonight, John, and it cost them there. So the Bulldogs take over at the Coughlin 28, already up 14, trying to add to it. Coughlin offense just has not been here all night long. That's going to go against the Bulldogs.
Good ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards, first down.
Dave, how about some of the traditions before the game, the other locker room, that whole mystique? Tell us a little bit about some of those memories.
Oh, there's just a lot of great memories. We actually we came out of the new locker room, but being in there and the circle and the prayer to me means a lot, and coming through that as a team, we just believed in ourselves, and that's something that you just can't. It's such a culture to try to create. I mean, I've been coaching other little things and being part of listening to other people talk about things, but this culture here that was created in the late 80s and early 90s, I just think it's something that's just it's awesome. And that culture of you walking out of the field and thinking we're not going to lose, and I think that's just something that just resonated for years. It went back, like to Jake Kelchner and to Ron Pauls, of course, was a great quarterback, and myself and my cousin Jeremy. It just kept on coming through, and that's just something it's not around anymore. And just that locker room, like we felt that we were going to win, and it's not being egotistical or anything like that, but it's just what it was. So that's just something that I remember back, and it's something you always remember. We just really believed we were going to win.
So a nice pass and catch from Force to Fisher. It goes for naught as the flag. Illegal shift backs Berwick up to the 38-yard line. So going the wrong way after the fumble. Going to go to the air deep. Going to come short and picked off. Just couldn't reach Kutka down there. Big interception by Noah Gebhardt. Coughlin gets the ball at their own 14-yard line, so big play right there for the Crusaders.
Well, the best punt of Berwick's night. They've had a couple punts that weren't too good, but Gebhardt goes over and makes a play to try to get the wheel route, it looked like, down that sideline.
So let's see now, Coughlin, what they're going to do. Just around the 10-minute mark left in this ball game.
And like you guys had said earlier, the focus so much on Berwick over the last years has been their offense. But believe it or not, it's been the defense that's won the championships, I believe, and that's where they are today. Still is because of this defense.
So now we have your game, Dave. What do you recall from this? There's the old George Curry back in the day.
Sure.
There you are. What do you remember that?
Junior year, state championship game, Sharon. It's raining out. It was a little corner smash route. I looked deep.
The defense coming up, I think.
Here they are. Yeah.
There's another little guy in there.
That's BJ Sealy, or no, BJ Hayes.
So there's a little bit of Dave Robbins back in the day. I want to thank WYU and WBRE for Some highlights. We'll show you a little George Curry later on when this game's wrapped up. So, Dave, we'll let you go back to the alumni now. Thanks for joining us. Good seeing you again.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dave Robbins, former quarterback, state championship quarterback for the Berwick Bulldogs. Wearing that infamous number 7, John.
Yeah, we saw some of the footage. There's Coach Ciro Cinti. Seeing if his Crusaders down 14 could pull something off with 8:45 to go here in the fourth. So many number 7s, you kind of get mixed up. Yeah. Who was who?
Absolutely. So time is ticking on Coughlin here. They need to get going, pick up the pace a little bit. Solar up. Good catch by Zalafi. Going to be close to a first down. Past the 25 to the 26. They move the change. Stops the clock quickly.
Solar trying to get that corner as King tries to get into the defensive end, Beckley.
You can complete a couple passes. You would think it's going to open up a little bit of running room and some lanes for Solar. He can run the ball still. King can't run anywhere. Ball comes out. That's dead. Coughlin has had trouble tonight holding on to that ball. Unfortunately for them, that time, they called it dead for some former players. Well, now Chuck Suppan, he's a no-nonsense referee. Hearing it from a little bit of the Berwick players, that's kind of a shocking development. Berwick doesn't usually say much.
So you see here King trying to hold on to the football. And the ball gets stripped out, I think, before he's down. But the key was, I believe a whistle was blown. I heard the whistle. I think you heard the whistle up top. The whistle's blown. The play's called dead. And it is what it is. So now the Coughlin Crusaders catch a break. Will they be able to take advantage of it?
So the Bulldogs trying to pull one out on George Curry's last regular season home game as the longtime coach of the Bulldogs. They're up 14. Coughlin would like to disrupt that a little bit. Solar bounces out of there. Big hit by Koch at the end, but Jacob Solar inside Berwick territory to the 45. 15-yard gain for number 12.
Credit to the Bulldogs. I mean, you want to see open field tackles on bigger guys. These D-backs from Berwick, they bring it, and they wrap legs. I mean, this guy's 6'4", 215 pounds or so, but what are you going to do to this guy? You hang on, and you have your buddy come over to help clean up. But grab those ankles, grab the lower legs. That's what you have to do.
And that was Anthony Cicini, the junior. We've talked about him a lot tonight. Solar doesn't have anybody downfield to throw to. Beckley finally comes over, but no one open. Downfield for Coughlin. There's George Curry. As we mentioned in the beginning, having some health issues nowadays, but still has that mind for football, I'll tell you.
Saw the smile on his face before the game and the emotion coming out of him, how excited he was to see those former players. Those guys are just, I mean, this is one of the day in history here at Berwick where these guys all were able to get together and have a little celebration, a lot of stories.
So 7:25 remaining in this game. Coughlin trying to get something going. We'll be right back here on MyTV. Back at Crispin Field in Berwick, Coughlin on the move after the timeout. Ball at the 46, 2nd and 11. Solar pressured. Almost caught downfield. In and out of the hands of Nick Zalafi. Nice pass by Solar to get it out of there.
Solar just not getting comfortable back there. There's been heat. Great job by that defensive front of the Berwick Bulldogs all night long. They have been just relentless. Great motors. You could just see the motors on these guys up front.
Sean McCole coming off holding something like his hand or being followed by the trainer. Will take a seat on the bench. So they lose their nose guard for a play, but a 3rd and long on the way for the Crusaders.
They've still got Monaco, Beckley, and Pierce up front that have helped out. Miller and Roberts, McMillan at that linebacker position. Todd maybe single coverage over on that far side.
Looking long. Trying to hit Todd, but well overthrown. 4th down on the way now for Coughlin.
That was the spin and go move, not the stop and go. That was a different pattern from Todd. He tried to use his athleticism. As you see the Berwick alums way back by the fence but Sassini out there on the coverage. He knows enough of how much cushion he needs on the athletes. Probably watches some film, breaks it down. Big time player is Sassini for these Berwick Bulldogs.
We get the district play. This Berwick defense is really going to cause some problems for no matter who they match up with. They got the offense rolling a little bit tonight. Put some points on the board. Trying to set up a screen. Solar. They say he went out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to mark it at the 36. I don't think he's going to make it. He's going to be short. Coach Sinti's on the field. Here we see it again.
Well, Solar trying to make a play over here. Let's watch his feet as he heads down the sidelines and tries to evade a tackle. See his foot right there. Looks like it may step out. You see the referee was right behind him. I think that spike went to that white part of the out-of-bounds area. So very tight play, but the referee had a bird's eye view.
So the Berwick defense holds once again. Just 6 points on the board for a team that came in averaging 29 on the year. Now we're just going to see a running attack here from the Bulldogs. Coughlin's ready, though.
Solar, King, Kenzakowski, Gebhardt coming in there.
Rich history here, of course, at Crispin Field. Championship signs all over the place. 6 state titles. 3 of those national championships, and it's a lot of stuff going on here, John, tonight on the field. Marshman, they're going to pass it out to Koch. Real quick out to Koch, picks up good yardage. Knocked out of bounds at the 44, so 3rd and short on the way.
When you look back in your life, you know, there's only so many moments you could kind of capture and say, I'm glad we really did that. And tonight, I think, is one of those nights. I'm glad all the guys came in. Glad we all got together. Glad Coach walked onto the field the way he did it. You know, it's special. And Berwick Bulldogs on the field tonight, they're trying to make it special as well for all those great memories by trying to beat a Coughlin team that's not too shabby.
Knocked down the line of scrimmage. That stops the clock. 4th down on the way. Sure, the Bulldogs will be sending in their punt team here. Up 14 points. They've scored 3 quarters. 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd did Berwick. Trying to hold on here in the 4th. Comes the punt team. Now this is where Coughlin can get back into it, John. The only big play tonight came on special teams on a kickoff return. they can get something going here on the punt, either good field position or even a touchdown, they were back into it. Marshman's actually going to do a little pooch kick. Oh, takes a huge Berwick bounce all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Thank you so much for taking a shot on a kid from North Philadelphia, high school dropout, and making me the man I am today.
From Massachusetts to Berwick, you have created a football family. Thank you, Coach Curry. Go Dogs!
So some great videos sent in wishing Coach Curry congratulations on his 400th win a couple weeks ago.
There's some great videos out there on what Gus Felder has done with his life. There's been some people in his life that have helped him, but Coach Curry was a huge, huge influence on him. And although at that time there was a lot of controversy, hey, Gus Felder has had a successful life.
And how about the video from former coach Gary Campbell? He came in at a time really tough for him because Coach Curry retired, for a couple years. And then Coach Campbell came in with all that pressure of Berwick and trying to build up the program again.
And he always had positive things to say. I mean, Gary Campbell was just one of those guys. He said positive things about what Coach Curry did, and he was positive when he was here. But it wasn't the same. And no, it's never going to be the same without Coach George Curry on the sideline here at Berwick. And I think all the alum have alluded to that and what he's meant and the impact that he had on their lives.
Solar threw that pass into the ground, but even if they caught it over there, that was Salafi, he was going to be swarmed by Bulldogs. So 3rd and long on the way. This Coughlin offense just can't get anything going.
Nope. Hits the turf over there. That's the one thing I think Dave Robbins, when he was up here, he was trying to tell us, Bob, that Coach George Curry never gave up on a kid. He found a way to reach a kid. Whether the kid needed a pep talk or you kind of had to back away from him, always read kids the right way.
Solar, no time to throw. Finally finds a man wide open downfield. Caught by Michael Brown. All the way past see where they're going to mark it, up to the 38. So 21-yard play. Good job by Solar to get out of the trouble.
Well, Berwick's defensive front, at some point, they got to get tired. And maybe just a hair more tired than when Solar and his offensive line were around and making a play downfield. Michael Brown and the Crusaders get to move the sticks here. They need a big flurry and some points here immediately.
One of the longer offensive plays of the night for Coughlin. Boy, Solar's lucky to hold on to that. Up to the 50-yard line. That was 6 hard yards by the QB.
Yep, they got to start pushing the pace here. It's already coming up under 5 minutes by the time they get the next snap off. Solar breaks a few tackles. This is all Jacob Solar, the senior.
Under 5 minutes to play here, Crispin Field. Bulldogs looking for win number 7 on the year. Solar finds Todd. Good tackle in the open field. Justin Kroshik. You don't want to give Todd any space.
Pass is completed for a first down to Todd. Justin Kroshik on the tackle. Picks up a first down to the Berwick 42.
See, Todd comes in motion. They get him out in the flat while he's moving, able to beat his defender and able to move the chains for the Crusaders.
This is where Coughlin, though, has had trouble all night when they get into Berwick territory. With turnovers, specifically. Solar quick over the middle. It's caught and pulled in at the 37. That's Zalafi.
Yeah, the problem is a few plays here. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. They're going to be under 4 minutes now in this next play. So, 3 plays and a whole minute goes by. You got to be able to stop the clock, get out of bounds, get a first down to, create some time here.
Too long in the huddle. Under 4 to play now. 2 timeouts left for the Crusaders. Well, if they get a touchdown, though, they can try the onside kick, and then you never know what happens. First things first. Solar downfield. Double coverage. Knocked down. Cicini down there. Kroschik trying to hit Vincent Todd. And Solar's knocked to the ground. Slow to get up.
Todd's over the post pattern here, trying to get behind the defenders. Right there, he's got to make that catch. I know there's traffic, but the game's on the line. You got to pull it in.
Two downs to get 5 if you're Coughlin. Big rush. Solar can get free. He'll have running room. He does. First down and more to the 26. Jacob Solar. Gain of 10.
Solar on the keeper picks up another Coughlin first down to the Berwick 25-yard line.
Well, Solar did it when the game was on the line against Wyoming area. He's trying to will his team to at least one score. He gets the first down to stop the clock, but now the clock is rolling again, so the Crusaders just got to get a score in, and then they'll see what they can do with an onside kick. They had that pooch kick that looked okay before.
Berwick sends the house. Solar gets right by. Again, the house is on the way. To the end zone, overthrows. Gets a flag downfield thrown. Trying to hit Zalafi. And we're going to have a penalty, I believe, on Berwick. Oh, boy.
Well, you mentioned the rules earlier, Bob. Uncatchable, different NFL, NCAA high school rules. So, people automatically, when they see football, they're not sure what's a catch, what's not a catch. But the Berwick defender ran into the receiver, and he was unable to get an opportunity.
On the defense.
So this is a 15-yard penalty. This will put Coughlin in the Gertrude Hawk red zone for the first time tonight on offense. Chuck Supon with the call. Here we'll see it again.
Well, 2 guys go to the outside, and you see Koch runs right into Zalafi, and they do get the penalty flag.
This drive started at their own 18-yard line for Coughlin. Chance to cut into the lead. Solar tripped up. Good tackle. Nicholas Koch. Time running now. Under 3.
Well, they're bringing those D-backs in and just kind of knowing that, hey, they're either going to get to Todd or they're going to get to Solar in that backfield quickly, and they do.
Coughlin just seems resistant to picking up the pace, John. In the huddle for a long time. Up to the line slow and everything. So, urgency. Solar has a guy out there. Caught by Zalafi. They're going to say he went out of bounds. Inside the 5 at the 4.
So the clock stops temporarily. 2:20 exactly to play as a little pattern over there towards the sidelines. Spins out of bounds.
There you see the yard marker. Coughlin can get a first down inside the Gertrude Hawk red zone. 2 plays to do it. They need a touchdown, though.
Crusaders used to these kind of games. Close, down to the wire. They do not give up.
Solar in for the first down up to the 1. They got to get up quickly and run the play because they'll move the chains. 2:14, first and goal. If I would then step up, run that same play, right? Going up to the line.
Berwick will submarine here.
I think you need the timeout. So Solar caught behind the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Berwick defense. 2 minutes left in the game. Here's the timeout. Timeout called by the Crusaders. 2nd and goal on the way. Woo. Well, why not, John? On a night like this, should come down to this.
Yep, Miller at the bottom of that pile.
We're not done yet. So college football on the way tomorrow, Saturday. We'll have Virginia Tech and Boston College, and then Bucknell at Lafayette at 3:30. And we'll have a special game on the CW 38 at 1, Bloomsburg and East Stroudsburg University. And then John and I and the Fox 56 sports crew off to Dunmore next week. And Riverside lost tonight to Lakeland, right?
By 1, that's what I'm seeing.
So does that cancel the chances of the Vikings to make the district playoffs? They could play spoiler to Dunmore. Coach George Curry, number 1, checking on the defense. Ball at the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal for Coughlin. A long drive started at their 18-yard line. This is the 12th play of the drive. Really need to cap something very quickly here. King holds on to the ball barely. 3rd down on the way. Coughlin needs either a timeout or get that play in. They do score. They need to save themselves some time, right?
Yeah, the clock's been rolling this whole drive, but they just can't seem to do anything inside the tackles here. Berwick, again, pinching, submarining. You know, they have that quickness. It's hard if you want to go around the edge. Berwick's selling out.
Coughlin selling out. King to the end zone. Didn't get the ball over. They're going to mark it short.
This is the defense the Bulldogs are proud of all year long. Tight games when they're big games this year. Sealands Grove was one of them. So Coughlin calls a timeout, and Berwick feeling really good about themselves. Not the biggest defense ever by any means for Berwick, but they are just relentless, playing with a lot of heart, and see guys just running around all over the place.
Give Coughlin a lot of credit. They haven't given up. But it's the best offensive drive of the game for Coughlin. It comes late here in the 4th quarter. Their only score came on a 95-yard kickoff return way back in the 1st quarter after Berwick had scored. And then Berwick has added 2 touchdowns since.
Berwick just getting some big play out of some guys, not real big in stature, but just playing with big hearts. Of course, Cassini's one of them. Groshik's done a nice job. Both of those guys are like 5'8", and of course, their nose guard. He's all 5'8" as well, Sean McCole. So, excellent job. Koch's about 5'9". The other one's about 5'9". So these guys have just been superior. And then there's a few big guys up front that have been relentless as well. So just a total team effort.
4th down and goal. Coughlin fumbles. Berwick has it, and they hold.
I believe that was Miller who shot through there and wouldn't even give Solar a chance on that one. Randy Miller, how about that? Just shot through the gap and got right into Jacob Solar. That's emotional time for the Berwick Bulldogs.
So the defensive stand of this game, and it looks like the Bulldogs will jump Coughlin into that 2nd spot in the district standings and pick up win number 7, and a big 403rd win here at Berwick for Coach George Curry. They take a knee. They'll have to run one more play. Coughlin had it playing uphill all night long, John. Really couldn't get anything going on offense because of that defense of the Bulldogs.
Outstanding job from the Berwick Bulldogs defense. They were saying, you ain't scoring. I don't care if you're an inch, you know, a piece of paper. It didn't matter. They weren't letting the Crusaders in. Coughlin, again, touted for that big offensive line, but Berwick showed their quickness defensively. And Dave Robbins said, hey, quickness wins. Look at Coach Curry over there. He's so happy. How'd we pull that thing out? How'd we do it?
So Coach Curry, his last regular season home game here at Crispin Field, gets the win. Number 403 for the old ball coach. Coming up, we'll have the Northwoods Nissan post-game show. We have our players of the game, and we'll see if Coach Curry wants to say a couple words if he can. So a big win here at Crispin Field for the Bird Dogs. The final 20-6.
This is a Fox 56 sports presentation of high school football on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back to Crispin Field in Berwick. The Bulldogs pull out a big win, and we are inside the Northwoods Nissan post-game show. Aaron Dugan has Anthony Cicini to find out what happened on the field tonight. Aaron?
Well, Anthony, there's got to be a lot of emotions going on right now. First, just kind of take me through how you're feeling right now.
Well, before the game, we said that we have all these ex-Bulldogs, the guys that wore the jersey before we did, and we said that we wanted to show them that we could play the same exact way we did, and that we just tried to play for them, and I think we did a pretty good job tonight.
Defensively, take me through that last drive. It seemed like it lasted forever. I'm sure to you guys it seemed the same way.
It would sound like it was like an eternity, but we gave up a few big plays, so we got on the goal line, and we've been making those stops all year long, and we were lucky enough to hold them again. So, again, good stop by us, so I was happy about it.
This week of practice, did you guys kind of get together and talk about, hey, we need to get this for Coach Curry?
Oh, absolutely. His last home game maybe, especially all the things that he's done for this town and our team, that's the least that we could do for the guy.
A big win, an important win. Yeah. What do you take from this game?
Hopefully we'll see how everything else shakes down, but if nothing else, we're continuing to play good football, and hopefully we can carry this out.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you, Anthony, for sticking around. George Curry has declined interview, voice not up to par, so we congratulate Coach on that and wish him well, but a big win for the Bulldogs.
Well, they did it with defense. They did it with plays when they needed them, but I just had to credit that defense. I mean, just so quick, very good tackling, grabbing those ankles, doing what they had to do. And as we mentioned, there was going to be a lot of motion here tonight. Berwick did it, but they did it with good, sound football as well, making some plays.
Strange thing is these two teams could meet again. Coughlin wins next week back here in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if Coughlin can lick their wounds and come back. But, again, for Berwick, they're going to try to take care of business next week as well. We'll see how this playoff shakeout's going to be. It seems a little late this year. It's going to go into Week 10 all over, AA, AAA, in different districts. It should be interesting.
Berwick will have Hazelton over at Hazelton, and Coughlin, I believe, has Tunkhannock. So two big games there, and there's waiting to see what happens in that prep game, and we'll see how things play out in Class AAA in District 2. So, John, an emotional night that started off with Coach Curry coming through a sea of alumni here for football, over 250 alumni back, and they held their own.
They did, and again, just a great cause here tonight for Coach Curry. Curry strong, and it really was a moving night here at Crispin Field.
Our next game will be Riverside and Dunmore. We'll leave you tonight with some old footage that we wrapped up, courtesy of WBRE and WYU, of George Curry back in his heyday when they run 6 state titles. Good night, everyone, from Crispin Field. George Curry picks up win number 403 on his career. We'll see you at Dunmore next week.